Hello everyone. With the number of COVID cases increasing, a lot of children are also getting infected. Unlike the first wave, the number of children infected were very less and were very mildly infected. This time, more and more children are being infected, and the symptoms are more. They are more symptomatic in terms of fever, cough, and cold. But still, the good news is that around 90 to 95% children will be asymptomatic and mildly symptomatic, and most of them do well with just home care and basic medications. In fact, those children who do get severe disease are usually the ones with some underlying disorder like cardiac problems, some immunity disorder, cancers, severely obese children. So, if your child has any of these risk factors, then immediately get your child checked by a pediatrician if COVID is diagnosed. Now, coming to the children who are asymptomatic, in that case, you need not worry at all. Just based on the recommendation of your pediatrician, you can give some multivitamins and vitamin C. You can make them do gargling morning and night, give them steam inhalation, give them warm liquids. If your child is not cooperating for gargling and steam, don't worry too much about it. Just give some warm liquids and give them a good, healthy diet. Now coming to the mildly symptomatic children. Now these are the children who will have some mild fever, mild cough, mild cold. Most of these can be managed with your regular cough, cold and fever medicines like paracetamol. Please consult your pediatrician for the correct dosages and what medicines are to be used. These symptoms also usually go off in 3 to 5 days, so there is nothing to worry. Now, in case your child is having high fever, cough is prolonged, the symptoms are lasting beyond 3 days, then most likely your pediatrician will recommend for some basic blood tests and X-ray. Please remember that unlike adults, children do not need regular CT scans, so please do not rush to a nearby lab or to some general practitioner and get a CT scan done. CT scan has a lot of radiation. In fact, CT is recommended only if child is requiring oxygen or hospitalization. Otherwise, we are not doing CT scan even with children with significant cough. Some blood tests may be done, but again, the list of blood tests is not like that of adults if the child is not requiring hospitalization. Now, if the child does require hospitalization and has some oxygen requirement, when do you know that you have to rush your child to the hospital? If very high fever, not going down with your fever medicines, child is having fast breathing, child is having chest retractions, that means the skin between the two ribs is going down, the skin and soft tissue. You are checking the pulse oximeter and the oxygen saturations are less than 95%. The child is dull, going on vomiting, severe abdomen pain, there is bluish discoloration of the tongue, lips or the fingers. In that case, immediately rush to the hospital. Treatment for hospitalized children is giving oxygen. Rarely we may need to put them on high flow oxygen or CPAP or ventilator. For children also we use remdesivir and steroids like in adults, but they only in severe cases, not routinely, they are not used. And again, I will reassure you that 90 to 95% children will have no problems whatsoever. It will be like the regular common cold which you encountered so many times when your child used to go to school. So don't panic. I'm seeing a lot of parents panic once the kids are diagnosed with COVID. Younger than 1 year age group, you need to be a bit more careful because they are the ones who tend to, vomit more, have higher fevers, become dull easily. So just be a bit more careful. If you are breastfeeding, please continue to do that. You can do that wearing a mask and washing your hands. If you are positive, then no need for that also. But if you are negative, then also continue to breastfeed your baby. Don't stop breastfeeding. That will give them the added immunity. A word about how to check the oxygen saturation. So children less than 1 year, the finger pulse oximeter, which is now readily available, it may not be possible to check the saturation because the fingers are very small. For older children also, try to use the middle finger and try to check when they are sleeping. What happens when children are awake? They will slightly keep moving the fingers and the reading may come wrong. So when they are awake, let the saturation probe sit for a good 1 to 2 minutes till the reading is stabilized. Otherwise, if you just put for 10-15 seconds and the reading is 88% and you panic and you reach to the hospital, and it has happened many times, and when we check, the saturations are normal. So this is about COVID. In children, there is a rare condition, post-COVID, also known as multi-inflammatory systemic involvement in children. In this condition, you need to know for a few warning signs. This can happen any time from, say, a week, 2 weeks, to up to a month, 2 months post COVID. This is a sort of inflammatory reaction of the body. It's very rare, but if post COVID you find your child is anytime again having high fever, severe stomach pain, vomitings, your child is dull, or your child is not eating well, you feel is looking very lethargic, is not active like before, or is complaining of heart palpitations or feeling uneasy, giddiness, headaches, any symptoms, please do take once to your pediatrician to get her or him checked. It's a rare condition, but if it is picked up on time, it can be easily managed with some drugs. But if it is picked up late, like by the time you go to the doctor, the urination is less, or the child goes in shock, the pulse is not felt, then the treatment becomes more difficult and the hospital and ICU stay will be prolonged. So keep in mind about this complication. It happens rarely, but you should know about it. So wishing all of you a safe and a healthy time during this period. Stay safe.